Guys, welcome to the channel. It is a couple of days after that last video and we are currently just heading up to the hill because we're gonna start, or they have already started, to harvest the rest of that canola. There ended up being about 60 acres or so of the canola to harvest, and we've just been waiting. There wasn't really any use to hook in while it was still a bit damp to finish off that canola when there was nothing else for the headers to go onto. So we've been waiting for the barley at the other main farm to dry out, or get drier at least, so we can give that a crack once we're finished up here in a couple of hours. So that's that's the plans for today. Bit of a storm cloud above us, but I don't think there's much forecast or much in it, but you just never know. Anyway, the other thing is I'm heading up here to have a look. Apparently the blue New Holland won't start, and with the amount of safety features that thing's got, even though it's a 9-year-old tractor, I'm hoping that it's just something someone's missed. Whether something's engaged that shouldn't be, or something's been bumped. Righto, here it is. Let's see what it's doing. Oh, make sure it's in park, clutch in, lights are all working. Yeah. Sounds like a solenoid for the starter motor is engaging, but the starter motor isn't. I will double check that we've got a bit of voltage at the battery, but maybe the starter motor solenoid's just decided this is a good time to just quit. I got a little jump pack I'll throw on after I check the voltage and see. I think the batteries are in there, but you can jump start at the back of the starter motor there. Anyway, I'll get the multimeter and see what I can find. Now I quickly just tested voltage and it was okay. Something I kind of enjoy is this. You can just pull this mudguard out of the road. It's just spring loaded. So you can, I can just get in here nice and cozy. But what I will show you is you might be able to see that's the terminal that the battery comes in there, the positive. And that's not meant to move. So you can see that cable in there is moving, so that is not meant to be the case. So I'll get some tools and I'll nip that up, I'd say. Now, I can't film and work at the same time, but I've taken that whole red protective thing off with a little jump start attachment on it. Yeah, you might be able to see in there it's been arcing there for a while, so I just don't know whether it's been hot and I'm just not 100% confident that I want to keep tightening that up and potentially snap the stud off, because if we snap the stud off we're in a world of pain. So to be on the safe side at the minute, I'm just going to put a nut on and I'll do it that way, and that way we'll be safe. Right, we've got the new nuts on there and it's all tight. I'll just get Dad to start her up, see if it'll start. Oh, that was a problem. It gets you every time. Well, I've been caught doing the boring stuff. The headers are all blown down, cleaned out from canola, and both of them are just about, or one, I think Brad's already taken off, he's halfway down there. The other head is just about to head off. So this is actually a new to us purchase. It's been in the pipelines for a little bit, but we only just picked it up there a couple of days ago. So this is a Farm King 1080 auger. Anyway, it's basically a similar concept to the other augers we have for loading into the silos, but now this year obviously we've got the 2 silos at the development block, which this will probably end up living down there. But at the other main farm here, we've got similar size, similar height silos. They don't quite hold as much, but similar height, and it's just be good to test it out before it heads down to the development block. And yeah, I think it's a bit flashier than the other ones in some ways, so it'll be good to test it out. I'm just about to take this down and set her up, and hopefully it's smooth sailing. So one of the really good things about this auger over the Westfield ones is the wheelbase is another metre wider. So this is a 4 metre wheelbase, which 3 metres seems like a lot, but when you got the auger 10 metres up in the air or more, it's a bit dicey. So the extra metre, so 4 metres wide, is just makes it a lot more stable. So that's going to be nice. Not have to be so particular that you don't accidentally hit a rock or something while the auger's way up there and tip it over. So that's going to be a good thing. Well, the auger's up. I'm just going to quickly throw the drone up, have a bit of a look at the first bit of the barley harvest, and enjoy the first few moments of not being itchy. Because I think I could be on the truck very shortly. So we'll see how that all goes. Everyone's bailing. It's too dusty to actually really see what's happening, and there's a lot of wet patches, and yeah, it's just a bit treacherous. It's the recipe to make a big mess. So we're going to come back in the morning and get going, and hopefully there's a bit of a breeze at least to blow the dust away. Another day and another couple of hours of absolute going nuts. So the headers started probably it'd been nearly 2 hours ago. But in the meantime, I've had to clean all the canola out of this bin, and there was a bit of wet stuff that, was pretty tricky to clean out. So that's all clean now. We got Brad over there. He's got his auger out in the distance there, so he's full, waiting for the chaser bin, which was full, and we're trying to get the truck organised to keep going, because I just got held up a bit too much there. See, I got Phil over here. It looks like he's having a look at something there. But all in all, it seems to be going a bit better this morning. With the wind, at least the dust is blowing away and you can still see what you're doing. Last night was just, you just about couldn't see 10 feet in front of you. So, I think it's starting to look like we've got some sort of plan and bit of organisation now. So I thought it was a good time to grab the camera. Well, it's time to fire up the old beast here. So this is the one with the 2-stroke diesel in it. I've just got to put all my stuff in this side. It's not very pleasant working in barley dust, so I'll make sure this window's up, at least if it'll go up. There we go. Try and save me getting too itchy. Old Faithful. But it's a good problem to have when we need another truck to help keep the grain away. We do have a single truck taking it to town as well, but the turnaround's not very good, so all the excess is going into the silos, which yeah, are filling up pretty quick. So I'm going to throw the drone up in a bit and hopefully we'll see, yeah, it is dusty, very dusty. There's a little bit of storm activity out to the west. Not sure if we're going to get any of that, but fingers crossed that we don't. But yeah, I think other than that, it's going good. We're just trying to keep the grain away from the headers. But we'll race back to the silo. This is the high adrenaline sport called farming. We've managed to just swap over the auger to the second silo. So yeah, there'll be about 200 tonne in the one we've just filled. And yeah, had a few dramas breaking shear bolts because it choked up the auger, but you get that. But yes, there's storms all about. Nothing right here yet. So we just got to keep going until we get rain. And then it's a mad dash to get everything under cover that needs to be under cover. But while it's not raining, I'm going to go get another load in this thing. The rains have come. It's only been a mil or so at the minute, or maybe not even that, but it's pretty steady sort of rain, so can't harvest and might as well keep things dry while we can. So this is what we call the igloo. We've had this for a few years now, and yeah, it's very nice being able to just pull the headers in here. We are here at the development block, and I think all the other properties had about 12 mils of rain. So we didn't do anything yesterday, really, and we're back here. Probably might not get harvesting today, but we're going to have a crack at this deck and get that mounted onto the little cabin here. So that's the plan. There's going to be a little bit of cutting and just figuring it out as we go. Full disclosure, we are not builders, so this could get interesting. But I'm going to, we've got to start laying out some blocks to mount it on. I'm going to have to cut down some of those blocks that are already there, and I've got the laser level there, and try and get everything pegged out so we can get into it. Well guys, been a bit distracted working, so haven't actually picked the camera up much. But a quick update of where we're up to here. We've got Uncle Ian over there. Him and I have been grinding out those cement blocks to fit the I-beam that you can see under there. And that should sit in that. We ended up pushing these cement blocks in a bit so the I-beam will clear those blocks, so we don't have to cut those ones out. So it should just be those two. We've got a concrete blade in the 9-inch grinder, so that's what we've been doing, and it seems to be working pretty well. So yeah, then we've got these blocks here set up there all in the right position, and the I-beam over there will rest on those ones, and then should be good to go. We're just still, when we got when we got this delivered, it didn't come with the poles, so we're still chasing them up. It was meant to, it was sold with the poles, but for some reason or other they weren't put in with this, so at least if we've got this ready to go, it's just a matter of sticking those poles in and putting the roof on, and we should be good to go. Making a brisk exit from the development block because apparently the barley's right to go, and it's pretty well raining pretty steady here at the development block, but yeah, apparently it's not where the barley is, so we're just flying back now. The very end of the thing was just a fill-in job, so we're flying back there now to get into it, hopefully. Well, we got drenched, now I'm covered in dust, so barley dust that is as well, which is always pleasant. Although the barley that's grown these days isn't as bad as some of the varieties that we grew when I was a kid. I just remember, you know, you'd literally go into a bit of dust for 5 seconds and you'd be itching, just about peeling your skin off. So it isn't as bad as that, which is lovely. But it's all going pretty smooth here. We did actually just have the yellow Acco. The yellow Acco just actually had a flat front tyre, which a bit of an odd one, but that's coming down with a spare, I think, and hopefully we can get that back going soon. In the meantime, I've got to keep this thing running overtime, so better get into it. It's a lovely evening. There's a couple of rain drops have been falling around, but we're still going. We've probably got another 60 or so tonne of barley that we should be able to get, so hopefully we can tidy that off.
Well folks, it's Peter back again. Fun and games at the funny farm. The grain dried out a couple of hours ago, just before dark, and the boys got going. Everything was going nicely, and then we had a stone go through a tyre on the out front of the old Acco, and so we've just managed to change that with a full load on out in the paddock. That took a bit of doing. So we were unloading that truck there, and then the shaft on the auger broke. It's got a double universal joint, double knuckle sort of a situation. And you've got to grease them fairly often, but this is still hot to the touch, and that was over half an hour ago. So something let go, catastrophically you might say, and bits and pieces flew everywhere. I was operating it when it did it, so it was a bit of fun.
Rough on the gear, Dad.
Anyway, now it's enough of that. Enough of that sort of talk. Anyway, so here we are with...
We're even hooking up the safety guards.
Yeah. Well, you got to take all precautions for us old fellas.
I don't want to lose any.
Oh, there's one young fella. How you going, Jamie? Yeah. You're the chief chaser bin driver or the mother bin filler? So we've got a heavy duty shaft that we're hoping it'll do the job, but we've got to shorten it somewhat. So
That should go on that one, yeah. That's what we have to take off.
yeah, righto. That's good. And we're trying to... They're talking about rain in another couple of days, and we've been getting little showers. We got another little shower today, but anyway, it's not like the inch we got 2 nights ago. So just enough to keep us on our toes. Anyway, little update.
Well, it was a pretty productive afternoon actually. Got about another a bit over 100 tonne of barley off, and basically we've got all the barley that can be got. There's probably another 100 tonne out there that is just too wet, and yeah, we're going to make a mess. So the plan is that tomorrow we're going to get cracking on the wheat or linseed, or maybe both, who knows, and try to get that done. We've got about 3 days before they forecast, another rain event, which is over 2 or 3 days. So really need to get all the seed production crops off before then, just so it doesn't deteriorate the quality of them. So yeah, we're going to be flat out into it, but we'll probably leave the video here for now. So all of that will be in the next one, and just remember to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you then.